Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to International Racing League Season 11, F2 Round Number 1 at Belgium. I'm your commentator, IRL, or as Jared Fosbury. I'm joined in the booth today by a legendary bottler, Mr. Sondra Sohaug. How are you doing, Sondra?
Well, crying myself to sleep as you're calling me legendary bottler. I would like to be known as legendary for something else, but nonetheless, though, I guess we're doing good.
Well, that's good then. As looks like clear skies, there's a little bit of cloud in the F2 qualifying session. And who would be your favourite then for the top three in qualifying?
Oh, well, we did kind of talk about this already, so it won't be much of a surprise to you, but my favourite will be Tim Bristolins in, I believe he's in AlphaTauri. Together with his teammate Louis Quinlan. They're both drivers I expect to be high up there. The third driver is a little more difficult. We have a mix of a lot of drivers that potentially can be up there. I think Shane is a possible driver up there. We obviously have both the Ferraris, the two title contenders for the F3 title last season. Then you have Adam Corrigan, shown good pace from time to time, same with Tom Spicer. But I think the one I'm gonna go with will be Jack Uden in his Mercedes for the day, as he's a new driver, but from the sign-ups he looks like he should be up there fighting here, so I think I'm gonna go Tim, Louis and Jack in that order.
Well, that's, as you said, it wasn't a surprise you'd be picking Tim on top, and I've got to agree with you. Tim with first, I think in quality today. I think Louis could be a surprise in second, obviously. But as you said, third is a tricky spot. But I'm going to give it to Adam. I think Adam could pull something out of the bag. He has been practicing. So let's see what he can do. As Tim then is beginning his flying lap, as he is the favourite for both of us to be on pole. Let's see how he does then around the track, as apparently, Sondra, it's going to be rain in the race, as he has a good turn one.
Well, that is saucy. However, Tim then, as we can see, heading up through Eau Rouge, complete flat through there, then going on to the Camel Straight on with DRS, now heading down, as we can see that he will reach a speed of about 204 miles per hour, 205 at the most, then into this tricky Lecom section before he's heading out of this right-hander, taking a lot of curbs on the outside, pushing the limit, and into this downhill right-hander that both you and me know is really a painful one without ABS. Then in towards Puon, a corner that is almost flat, and we can see that Tim taking that Puon corner in 8th gear, Jared. That's a strange one.
Yeah, I think it is a bit strange, obviously.
Only seen AI do that.
Yeah, I usually max it in 7th, and then if needed to go in 8th, as he's invalidated, which is a shame there for him. But as you said, ABS, where we struggle that through the Sector 2 sector, there's some guys in here, I believe, who are no ABS, so hopefully they can master these conditions.
Well, I do believe Tim's teammate, Louis Quinlan, who's just started his lap, is also no ABS driver, so he might find some of the same issues as ourselves, as we can see him now heading down towards Camel Straight, towards Buon. Seems to be running more downforce. They're only reaching 202 miles per hour. Then through Lecom might have a little more downforce. That can help him before he heads to this downhill right-hander. And looking like a nice line through there before he's going through No Name, which he's gone a little too wide in and invalidated. And I think that's going to be a case for multiple drivers today.
Oh, definitely. Track limits can be an issue around here. But we already have a couple of lap times on the board. We have Haramik Oh, Enzo with a 42.8 there. Decent lap, probably maybe a low 42 you could possibly do. Kieran there, maybe a banker, 43 flat in the Haas on the soft tyres. As I don't know if he's on another lap, but apparently he's purple in sector 1. But also, nice and spicy, Sondra. Tom, he's out already in qualifying. Oh, Kieran's gone off there.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but that is unfortunate for him. However, this track is certainly one of the tracks where an alternate strat can be a good thing as well. So he might still have a chance in the race. As Shane is he just retired?
Yeah, he retired in the pits. I think when we were on board with Tim, he went and lost it up through a rouge, and as Tim has kind of spoiled it a bit, he said there is potential of rain in the race. So
Jack in his Mercedes, there's a 42 to take provisional pole here, Jared.
Yeah, good lap there. As we're on board with Luke Baker right now, through the second sector, about into sector 3 right now on the medium tyres in the Williams, and he's teaming up with Billy Mossam. Who's currently 12th, no lap time set, still in the pit lane. As there's a Haas ahead. Oh, and Luke's almost gone off, and Kieran is round there. Just out of sector 2, entering sector 3. It's quite easily to hit that curb. And we know what he's approaching now, the deadly curb where I lost it in the F1 tier. As Luke now approaching the bus stop chicane. Let's see what lap time he can set on the mediums. DRS activated, and he's coming to the line, and it's a 44.7 there, 6th place, not bad lap for mediums. Obviously it is a banker, and I'd expect him to go on these soft tyres very soon.
Well, you would assume so, at least, as the mediums aren't really the go-to tyre in quali here. It's just a little too slow in sector 2 especially. However, we have a couple of drivers getting to their lap now. Jared, as we can see, that Tim has just crossed the line to start his second attempt on a lap.
Oh yeah, obviously it's the second attempt. Hopefully he can keep it valid this time, and hopefully no traffic get anywhere, and just gets ahead of the Red Bull. And now he's approaching a rouge. In real life you can't take this at the moment because of the visibility, but here it's clear skies. As he's now going down the long straight, then activating DRS. Let's see what his sector 1 time is. Obviously everyone should be quite close, and it's going to be a 29.9, purple sector 1 apparently, as he's now going through the twisty section where ABS will aid him, especially here now, which in my opinion I call the hairpin corner, because it is like a hairpin, but it's a bit extended, as he invited here earlier on, same with his teammates, but keeps it within track limits now as he's coming through Pouon. As he goes down to 7th then, maxing out the revs into 8th, as he's now coming through the next chicane now. Got to avoid these curves. If you go over a bit too much, you can lose the rear end, and he avoids both of them there, misses the exit curb. And onto the next right-hander. Now entering sector 3, his second sector time is a 113.7, still purple apparently. Time to beat is a 42.2 from the Mercedes driver. As Tim now is coming down the big long straight, which has a bit of a left then, which will approach the bus stop chicane. Do you think he'll get pole here, Ball?
I do not know. I am currently following. Oh, as Louis Quinlan has gone around up Eau Rouge. But look at that from Tim though, 41.794, setting the benchmark for these drivers.
Definitely.
While his teammate is setting the benchmark for bottling.
Well, bottling and crashing. No damage though, it looks like, on him.
It seems like he's gone away with it. However, he's probably not got enough fuel to go for another lap, and considering the length of this track, another lap on those tires isn't really that great on an option either, so it's probably straight back to the pit for him. Jessica Harrison, however, she is currently in the second sector, heading towards the sector split in a few moments, as she's on, it says purple sector.
Ooh!
Ooh, and she is around. And I think I know exactly what she did there. She got on the curb on the outside, and that can sling you around like that sometimes.
Yeah, she's very lucky that she didn't lose the rear tyre, because she did hit the wall, and at that speed it can easily rip off that tyre. And well, she's been saved, and hopefully she can get another lap around the track, as we do have 7.5 minutes, plenty of time. As you said though, Louis, you don't think has got enough fuel. The fuel warning light is on, so I think he will go into the pit lane.
However, somebody who's just started their lap though, Jared, the F3 title contender, Ross Denholm, going through this second sector now, heading towards Puon, and let's see what he will take Puon in. Then he's going down to 7th. What I would expect, to be fair. Now heading towards this right-left combination, looking nice and tight on entry. Then in towards the sector split and up towards, oh, and it is invalidated.
That is a shame there, because he was actually almost matching Tim's second sector there, so he would be quite close with Tim there, Ross, and hopefully he can have another go at it. But also needs to save those soft tyres, but as we've been told, there is rain. But I believe the Mercedes of Jeremy Pope's on a lap.
Jeremy Pope has just invalidated after the second sector split, so and you can see he's slowing down now. He boarded the lap and probably straight into the pit for him then.
Well, Billy's next, as he's done a second split over 1:14.1. A couple of tenths slower than Ross and Tim there, but he's not that far off. Hopefully he can get some time in the bus stop. As now he's approaching the bus stop chicane then, let's see what lap time he can do. His teammate is currently in 7th with a 44.7, obviously on the medium tyre. Decent exit there.
Over the line, and it's 42.5, putting him in 4th place at the moment. Not far off Enzo. And not too far off Jack either, but Tim currently though in a class of himself.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really going to match him except the Mercedes driver. I think he's going to be the closest, to be honest, and he isn't on a lap yet, he's on an out lap. He'll be on a lap soon. Is anybody else on actual flyers though, Sondra?
Unless Jeremy went for one, I think Jeremy did. So Jeremy might, he seems to be on a flyer. One lap old tires, but he's going for it and into Puon. We can see that he's going all the way down to 6th at some point there. Seems a little unnecessary in my opinion, but he could be running a low downforce package before heading in towards this second sector split, and he has invalidated again. And maybe he is running a bit too low with downforce to actually get an off turn in some places.
Well, yeah, especially if he's going 6th and Puon. You shouldn't be going that low of a gear, to be honest. And then he's invalidated twice now, which is a shame. And he's coming into the pit lane. Obviously, there's only 4 minutes remaining of the session. So one final attempt then for him.
Jack Udan is on his flyer now though, hitting a whooping 204 down the Camel Straight before heading into Lacombe. Nice tight line through the left-hander. Not taking a lot of care out of the right-hander there, but could still be working for him. A little deep in that hairpin, not looking too good on the exit there. Through No Name, managing to stay valid. Then heading into Puon, down into 7th gear. Ooh, I thought he went a little too wide there, but he seems to have gotten away with it. Before now heading into this right-left combination. He seems really clean over his whole lap. Now the second sector split, 13.5, that's got to be quite equal with Tim, doesn't it, Jared?
That's 2 tenths quicker actually than Tim, so he's up for possible pole position here.
We have a challenger as he's heading down towards the bus stop. Just got through that corner you crashed in yesterday, Jared. How does that feel?
Hurtful, very hurtful.
Out of bus stop though, not the best exit, but it will be a 41.8. I think he might have messed up a little in best stop there at the end, as he's gone right behind Tim.
That is a shame. Unfortunately, Tim's teammate is not having a good day at all as he cuts the bus stop chicane there, as he completely invalidates his lap early on. He's hit the pit wall as well, so he's only got 2 minutes 20 seconds remaining in the session. I don't think he has enough time to get in the pits and get back out again.
No, he doesn't.
So that's his day over then, as Jessica Harrison is on a lap, currently running up the bus stop chicane now.
Ooh. And Tim is on a proper flyer here now, a 13-1 by the second sector split, meaning he's, what is he?
Oh, Jessica Harrison's gone into the wall.
Time then?
In turn 1, she's missed the braking point, but as you said though, Tim is on a flyer, so we'll go on board him then.
He's going out of the best stop now, looking much better out of it than Jack, and it'll be a 41-4 to take provisional pole position here.
Jeez, you know, this guy's quicker than me and I'm on no ABS. Cheap. Absolute fraud, but congratulations on Tim for pole at the moment.
Calm down, Jared, just because you're you and Tim is Tim.
Aye. Is anybody else on a flyer to challenge him, the Ferraris?
Well, I believe the only one on... Well, yeah, Reese March and Jessica Harrison seems to be the only ones on flyers at the moment.
Jessica Harrison just did a lap last lap and she hit the wall and got wing damage, so that's the best of her lap. That's going to be her position at the moment.
In that case, Reese March, at least I see that he's heading through Eau Rouge and down the Camel Straight, looking like he might actually get a slipstream. Not the best slipstream, but he might have gained a tiny amount of time there. Now through the Lacombe section and down towards the hairpin. Little deep there it looks like, getting all out of the curve there. And through No Name, maybe a bit cautious there in the end. Now in and around Puom, looking very cautious there in my opinion, Jared.
Yeah, he could have been more on the throttle there. It looked like he had plenty of traction. But let's see what it is. Oh, he's round! I was going to say what's his sector, but he's round.
That is the Aston doing a battle.
I wouldn't invalidate though, because whatever lap time you're going to set, you're going to be ahead of Spicer, so...
Not just that, he could make sure to be ahead of multiple drivers there.
Yeah, that could be a possibility. Right now then, Louis hasn't made it round, so he was the one who was just ahead, tried to cut every corner to make it round, and you're right, couldn't make the time.
Ross Denholm though, he's currently on a lap the same as Jeremy was, but he seems to have crashed out in Eau Rouge. However, Ross then heading into the bus stop, no invalidation so far, meaning he will manage to set one lap in the session, but will it be good enough for anything special? It's a 42-1 and third place for Ross there in the end, Jared.
Yeah, not bad there from Ross, but what about his teammate? Delta, oh, he's invalidated, so Ivan, for once, has been beaten by Ross Denholm there in third. That's going to be a kick in the teeth for Ivan, and he's invalidated his lap time, and he will be in 8th position.
Billy Mossam over the line to take 4th, right behind Ross there. Luke Baker, he's also coming through the bus stop chicane right now, and he will take 6th place.
Well, Kieran's about to come across the bus stop chicane and has no front wing.
No front wing and medium tyres. I don't think we'll see an improvement there.
Are they the 2030 regulations for something?
Decreasing the downforce, is that what you're aiming at?
Yeah, I think that's what eventually it will look like. But he's doing donuts, don't want to really wreck those tyres. Okay, that's weird. He spun it and he went across the line, but then he drove backwards and then he said it. Okay. Well then, that's qualifying over then, and here are the results. With Tim then, not a surprise for our predictions for me and Sandra. Tim then takes the top spot with a 41-4, and he even says on chat he could have had a 41-2. Jack then in second, Ross in third, Billy Nostrum in fourth, good qualifying from him. Enzo in fifth, Luke Baker sixth, Kieran seventh, Adam in eighth, Ivan in ninth, and Jessica Harrison, good result for 10th, with Matt's teammate Reese in 11th. Nice racer 12th, unfortunately DNF'd early. Louis Quinlan couldn't get a lap time on the board in 13th, and Shane in 14th. And I believe to round off the bottom two is Jeremy Pope in 15th, and Matt Romano, who as always doesn't set a lap time in quali, will start in 16th.
What about that though, Jared? Almost got the right prediction in quali from me. Tim, Jack, both in top 3. However, did not see Ross taking that third, and Louis obviously, who didn't manage to actually get in the lap time in the end. But a wet race though.
Yep, so Tim was right, so he wasn't actually bluffing. It's going to be interesting. Intermediates, it looks like, from the Mercedes garage. So it isn't full wet, so the FIA are doing what they're doing in real life, and baby in the race, and decided to go on intermediates instead of full wets. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see then. However, this could spice up the racing though. We had a bit of wet racing in qualifying ball on the, I believe, intermediate tyres and wets yesterday, and it actually wasn't that bad with the setup. Do you think these guys, some of them who've got near the top with 41, do you think they've run complete dry setups and going to be screwed for the race?
It's difficult to say, but I don't know. I think I don't have any idea, to be honest. I don't have enough experience with the wet weather on this game yet, so can't really say if they're running a full wet setup, a full dry setup, if there's that big of a difference, what to do with a dry setup to make it better. I just don't know, Jared.
Well then, as I asked you in qualifying then, top 3 then for the race. Who do you think is going to take the victory and then the final podium sitters?
Well, at this point I am still gonna go with Tim and Jack for first and second. They've both shown that they were very strong in quali. However, third, that is a difficult one, as Mr. Danholm in third there is a bit of a bottle. So I don't think I'm gonna go with him, but at the same time, there is more bottles there. You have Billy. I think Enzo is a good shout, together with Ivan and Louis. However, those two are quite far down the grid at the moment, so I don't know who to go for that third spot.
Well, actually,
you will have to excuse me for a moment.
Oh, that is understandable, and I'll tell you my top 3 then. Tim will obviously my favourites for the first. I think Jack's definitely at second, so me and Sonny do agree on that. As third though, he didn't know who to pick for, but I'm going to go for a surprise contender. I think the legendary Italian Matt Romano in 16th place. Oh, hang on a minute, there is a Mercedes round. That is Jack, already off under the formation laps. Remember, the full wet tyres are needed. But as I was saying, Matt Romano, I think if he keeps out of trouble and actually does good results there and actually fights for some positions, I think he could get a possible third position. He has shown some interesting pace. He's even quicker than me in Bahrain. So Matt Romano has improved. So I think he's got a lot of skill to show this weekend, and hopefully he can get some valuable points for the Aston Martin team, as we are getting close to lights out as Jack's trying to make his way back to his grid position. And the only thing you missed out there, Bolt, was Jack there, as one of your predictions second, spun it, where Jessica Harrison lost it on the formation lap.
Well, that's not great, but still, what you do in the race is what matters.
No, that is true, and the race will be beginning very shortly. At least we have no delays or any red flag scenarios. Not
at the moment.
Next pack's like red flags, no safety car. Anything can happen. As wait for the drivers to line up and light sequence to begin, which should be very soon. as we now have 5 red lights then for round number 1 for the F2 tier at Belgium, and everyone's had an average start there. Oh, and there's a Haas almost going around. Oh, he is around. Oh, Haas there losing control of the car, and Tim drops to 2nd position. Oh, the Mercedes almost hits him, but Tim regains his composure and takes the lead.
Oh, there is chaos at the back as Billy has gone around. And he's been left for dust.
Oh, that is a shame there for Billy as we go back up to the front. No overtakes yet, obviously no DRS, but a lot of people using the IRS. Oh, there is no tech actually.
So he's trying to challenge that 2nd place from Jack.
I'm watching Jeremy Pope, the other Mercedes driver, was actually fighting with Shane there, and now he's under threat by Kieran, who's dropped to 11th.
My God, Jared, look at this guy. Last season's F3 title winner, Ivan Kingsley, up into 5th place already.
Yeah, that was a very good start for him, and obviously it was aided with Billy's mistake as well. Oh, and look at Ross, he's just made a mistake. He touched the curb through Puon. Especially in these conditions, you don't want to do that because you can easily lose the car and end up straight into the wall and easily lose a tyre.
And when I'm looking at the position changes there is actually multiple people who's...
Oh, sorry to cut you off, but Kieran is out. Kieran has binned it after Puon. Unfortunately, we can't go on board him because the spectator, but there's a VSC. Just out of Puon approaching the chicane where Billy is, he looks like he's lost the rear end, and he's going straight into the barrier, and that's his race done, and we've only had 1 lap.
Well, that is very unlucky for Kieran. Obviously, one of the drivers we also had like a good feeling that would be high up there today, but now that that will not be the case. However, some of the other drivers we mentioned though, Louis started far back but worked his way up to 6th already, Jared.
Yeah, he's had a brilliant start, and that's good for AlphaTauri. You know, they want decent points, and it's quite interesting. Both AlphaTauri drivers for both tiers are all for fighting for a championship. Tim is going to be up there, and obviously AlphaTauri as a team in base could be high constructors winning. Oh, and hang on, what's happened here? Ivan's gone really slowly there.
I think the timing is messing up here as we
oh no, Jessica Harrison has been given a drive through.
And look at this. Enzo might have a run at Jack in 2nd there. However, the timing is completely messed up though, saying Enzo is 2 minutes behind him at the moment.
it happens
this
every
is just
time.
awesome.
Oh, and now we have no timings for the rest of the grid for me on my end. I have no timings from 12th to above, and timings have come back.
Well, I've gotten it now. You know, it's Enzo is a lap behind in 3rd, so this game. Nonetheless, though, it shows the right order at least again. And Ivan struggling a little bit, lost the rear of his teammate, and under a lot of pressure from Louis Quinlan. Louis Quinlan, who goes around in and Reese.
That's Reese. He's out. Oh, left rear is gone.
Right into the wall in Puon.
Yeah, he's lost complete control. Looked like he had no brakes there. It's where Perez, I believe, crashed out in the real race. Luckily, his car is repairable, but that left rear is gone.
That left rear is gone indeed. He's out of the race. He is finito, and it is up to Matt to carry that Aston team for the day then.
Well, that's true. Now you said that, Enzo losing a bit of time now from Jack, but Jack is really exceeding track limits. He could get a penalty if he's not careful with the warnings, but he's really struggling with the conditions. Maybe he's the one who's running the dry setup, but Tim looks like he's... Oh, Jack again losing the rear.
And I think we're going to get a spicy fight for 2nd place in this race, possibly 1st as well, as long as Jack can just keep in touch with Tim here. But look at this though, Jack who's struggled, and I hate the timings there. But look at this, Enzo right on the back of Jack, heading up Eau Rouge, and he's looking to get a good run. Oh, he's having to cut the top of Eau Rouge, and that's gonna leave a nasty warning for him then, as he's now trying to challenge down the Camel Straight into Lecom. He's on the inside, but Jack breaks later and keeps that position. And brilliant defending from Jack there. Yeah,
it's brilliant. Now the Red Bull didn't want to risk any damage, especially in these conditions, but person who's now waiting in the wings is Ross Denholm. He set the fastest lap, and it looks like the track is improving, and there's possibility of dry weather near the end of the race. So I wonder if people are going to stretch these inters to a possible dry chance, because I don't believe in intermediates you have to pit. So it could be a push for the intermediate tyres, but it could be worth it.
Luke, I think it's just let Louis go there, actually. Almost looked like it. However, I gotta say though, Jared, you're talking about the track improving here, but I think you might need glasses, my friend, but because there is still raining, and it's not looking like it's improving, if you ask me.
There's a bit of blue skies I've seen on the track, on the Sector 3 side. Maybe I do need glasses, but the rain doesn't look as heavy as it was. It has lightened up a little bit, but it maybe later in the race dries could happen. But we still have a fight on our hands. For 6th position, it looks like, or is it 7th? 7th actually. Louis Quinlan, after his spin, is coming back fighting on Jeremy Pope.
Oh, and look at that, he's getting a good run around Blanchimont into the best stop. Jeremy breaking way too late, going deep, and Louis just using his experience to take that switch back and take that position.
That's a shame, and some interesting information, Bottle, which you're not going to be surprised. People are still waiting for the Belgium Grand Prix.
Yeah, I got to cut you off here. Look at this, Enzo having a run once again on Jack, heading down Camel Straight. Probably the best run he's had so far, but he's once again not going to be able to make the move, and Jack braking late, making sure he manages to stay ahead.
It looks like they're winning the same aero package, and because Ross just picks up a 3-second time penalty, so that's going to hurt him if he wants a chance for podium. But right now, as I was saying as well there, Ball, some of the drivers who have tuned into the stream, they'd rather watch this than the actual Belgium GP, because they're still waiting.
Well, good to hear that we can at least contribute with something, as we can see that Jack is constantly losing time to Tim now. Tim has really gotten into a rhythm where he can just keep driving by himself and not focus too much on the others. In the meantime, Jack in second there, having to constantly defend from Enzo, probably gonna have a little pressure from the Ferrari of Ross Denholm at some point as well. But look at this though, Jack, he might be starting to find a rhythm here. Jack starting to pull a little more away from Enzo now.
Well, I'll tell you who's not finding rhythm right now is Jeremy Pope, as he's gone wide. Oh, he's hit the wall, and there goes Luke Baker, an easy overtake, and I could just see Jeremy starting to lose grip. Now, I don't know if he's got wing damage earlier on, but he's really struggling with that low downforce package, as he said he might run in quali. And he's now coming actually back at Luke Baker, it looks like, and possibly going for an overtake through the bus stop. There he is, going for it. Side by side, but then Luke gets the better run, and I think Fly's going to back off there, and as you were going to say, Ball.
Well, I was just going to mention that luckily for Jeremy, I did have a look, and it doesn't look like he has any damage. If he has any damage at all, it's going to be very minor, and it should be completely possible to keep driving with.
He's keeping up with him though. He's got plenty of ERS, and obviously you can save, and he's really struggling through. Same with Luke there. Oh, he cuts the corner, and well, Luke there would have easily got a warning.
Oh, down the Camel Straight, not gaining much. Luke is clearly also using his ERS there.
Does this remind me of something in IRL Season 5 F2 tier, where it was 2 Renaults and a Williams? It's now 2 Williams and a Mercedes. Is it the Williams sandwich? Ready to get the Merc in a bit of trouble, because Billy is now actually starting to catch up here, Sandra.
Well, you know, it could be indeed, as we can see these 2 Williamses. It looks like Jeremy has a little more pace to go on, but it doesn't look like he has enough. But at the same time, we saw Billy in quali really having more pace than he's shown so far in the race, so we could see him getting some help from his teammate to get past that Merc, and then he might be just let by his teammate. Obviously he has lost 6 positions so far, so he has no time to lose. to get himself back up into a high points paying position.
And Jeremy's actually going to make a move, but I think it's you needs glasses, ball, because it has stopped raining. It is not raining anymore. It's just wet on the track, and Jeremy's going for the dive through the bus stop chicane as Louis sets the fast lap. Oh, bit of contact there between the Williams and the Mercedes, and they're getting quite close though. Could this be a possible 3-wide moment at Through Rouge? Where is Luke? There he is.
Oh, and so really having a good run at Jack once again. Will this be the time that he manages to get past? It doesn't look like he can.
Sorry to cut you off, Paul. Both Williams are through.
So Jack breaks later.
Again, but both Williams are really tackling Jeremy right now. Jeremy makes a mistake through a Rouge. Oh, there's been a contact there through a Rouge. That could have ended in tears. Where is Jeremy? Jeremy is still okay, and it looks like Billy has got the upper hand. He did get a penalty though, and I don't know if that was for him cutting the corner or the contacts, but he gets the position and moves into 9th, and Jeremy then drops into 10th, but he looks like a bit quicker than these two now since the conditions have changed, and it is really lightening up now.
It does seem to be lighting up here now, but you gotta remember though, Jared, this is Spa we're talking about. It's a long track, and it is difficult to judge when it is the right time to pit in for the dry tires, as you can drive one lap and it feeling like it still enters, and then halfway through your next lap you can just feel that, damn, we should have pitted the previous lap. So it's not going to be an easy task for the drivers deciding when to pit.
Well, it's going to be very interesting, as you said, with the pit window, and it could provide a way to win the race, because Jack could make the strategy perfect and win the race. And we've now just got confirmation the real life Grand Prix will be resumed at 18:17, so 6:17, an hour ahead. So your time there, Ball, it will be starting. But back to live action then.
It won't start.
Nah, they've confirmed it. No, Mercedes have confirmed it.
They have, but it won't start. Trust me. I have no faith.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, though, Shane Keller, the Belgium driver who.
Oh, hang on,
back.
yellows. That's Billy. Billy binned it just through the bus stop chicane. Not going in the pits. Oh, the Haas driver now hits him, losing the rear end. I don't know if those two came the blows.
I got to interrupt her. Shane is about to go down the inside of Ivan Kingsley into Lecom. Ivan manages to break later. Defense, he has compromised his line though, and Shane is looking for an opportunity. Now down to the downhill.
Oh, Billy's gone off again.
Oh, and Shane is still staying behind. Ivan managing to stay ahead, but Shane is looking like he's finding some pace there, Jared.
Yeah, maybe he's finally got those tyres to his liking, and maybe these are the conditions he likes. No, Billy is out there, and then it's quite unfortunate there for him. So that's our third DNF. Yeah, he was struggling all over. He lost it through the bus stop, then lost it out of turn 1. So maybe he just overheated those inters, and as you said, these conditions are lightening up, and you say it's a long track, but maybe you overheated the intermediate tyres. But a person who isn't overheating his tyres is Ivan and Shane.
I don't think they're overheated yet, Jared, as we can see that there is still spray. However, a few more laps, and I think that can be the issue.
Shane going for it. He is. He's thinking about going around the outside. This is going to be risky. I was going to give him room, and very close.
Being shown in this overtake here by Shane as he goes down inside in bus stop now. He breaks a tiny bit later. Ivan is still there. Tiny bit contact. Shane going wide on the exit. Is he going to be able to stay ahead though? Is that overtake legal actually?
Well, to be honest, I would say it is legal. Alvin wasn't really alongside. He did hit him off, it looked like. A bit of the contact. Didn't slow the car down quick enough. But it is 50-50. And if it is reported by the stewards, it will be looked into, obviously. But overall, we've had an overtake, and Shane, as you said, is on a move, a man on a mission, and his next objective is Ross Denholm in 4th in the other Ferrari.
Indeed, it is. And we can see that Shane is looking quick now. He's already catching on Ross Denholm here. Ross is starting to look like he's struggling a bit more here now.
Yeah, maybe the tyres, maybe they're struggling with tyre grip, or you know, the tyres have just had it. As Jack, oh no, the guy in second place got a 3-second time penalty. That's going to help Enzo. Hopefully he keeps out of the wars from penalties. It could easily get in position as someone's gone round, and that's Shane. We were just on about him flying through the field. He's round.
Oh, unlucky for Shane. However, looking at the cars now though, Jared, I think we're at that point where the Inters might overheat because there is not that much spray anymore. However, there's a little more in the second sector than there is other places though.
Yeah, I think maybe an extra lap and then they'll possibly pit, but you could gamble it now and pit, and somebody is gambling on it now, and it's Jessica Harrison.
Jessica Harrison.
In 13th, and she's in the pit lane. Is she going on dry tyres or is she going on another set of intermediates? Hopefully the pit crew don't make the mistake of putting inters. Put on some mediums, because softs will definitely not make it to the end. Mediums will. It is roughly when they would pit for the softs to medium strats. And she is in the pits, but nobody else is following her. Oh, scratch that. There's a Ferrari in. That is Ross. Ross is in the pit lane. And Jessica Harrison's gone fresh into Sondra. You think that's the right call?
No. But I don't think that was on purpose. She's probably gone in, forgot to change the tires she's about to get on.
Oh, Ross got wing damage.
He's putting on the medium tires, so that's the right call, I would say. Also changing the front wing, it looks like.
Maybe that's why he was a bit slower.
An adjustment?
Nah, it was a full front wing, so I think he... don't hit the wall at the pit lane, whatever you do.
Oh, and look at this. All the drivers seems to be passing the pit lane at the moment. Nobody else diving in for new tires yet. However, let's have a look at Ross. How is those mediums feeling? And the mediums, honestly, they're looking better, Jared. You can see this here. He looked like he had more grip of Eau Rouge than Jeremy. We'll see now going into Lecom if that is actually the case, as we can see him sticking tight with Jeremy here.
Ah, it's definitely dry. DRS has been enabled.
DRS enabled. That is the green light. That it's definitely dry tires now, and you can see Jeremy struggling more with his tires now than Ross is.
Yeah, Jeremy doesn't fight it, lets him go, and then Ross then moves into 7th. Pit stop roundabout is 22 seconds, I believe. And he's 36 off the leader.
Ross might have pulled the masterclass here, Jared, as Tim, Jack, Enzo, everybody has still a little to go before they get into the pit, and these inters will not be fun
Tim's in.
These last few corners they have.
Yeah, I think everyone's now going in. Jessica Harrison stays out on those intermediates. So I don't know why they're keeping her out. It is dry now. They need the dry compound. And Ivan is having a bit of trouble with Louis Quinlan. And the AlphaTauri team are going to have to double stack Sondra.
Oh, that could be
oh! Bit of contact through the pit lane. Ivan and Louis, luckily, no 5 seconds.
Enzo's gone on the soft tyres. He might get a small pace advantage right now, but that is
going to be a push.
That is not going to be great for the Endo. However, looking at Ross, he's not gained at all on that, I think.
Well,
he did have his wing change.
Well, and that as well, but through Rouge there was still a bit sprayed, but he hasn't lost that much time even with the front wing change, so to be honest... Oh no, is that Tim? Tim is round through Rouge. Tim has bottled it.
Oh, I don't see any damage though, so he could still...
Oh, there's another one. Enzo's gone off. He's got damage, no front wing at all, and you on about him going on the softs. There's no grip for the soft tires, and there's a VSC. Oh my god.
Well, it might be time for dry tires, but we didn't say that it wasn't going to be slippery.
Well, there's still 3 drivers on
we've just seen that is the case. However, Tim, though, very lucky. He's gotten that, he's had that spin, but it doesn't look like he has any damage at all, Jared. So.
I think he did it to me in the Rouge 360. I did it a couple of times yesterday, and it can happen.
However, Enzo, though, extremely unlucky here. He's going to have to pit for a new front wing, and we have Ross then on right behind Enzo now. Ross is going to blitz past Enzo in pure air, as you can see. Enzo has absolutely no turning at all.
That's true.
It is, though. Adam Corrigan and Matt Romano still out on those Inter tires.
I think pad traction will help him with that. But
Oh, okay, you're delusional.
nah, they should have paid. But getting a bit racy with Jeremy Pope. He's on soft tyres. Marimona lets him go. I think he's now realised it was a bad call. And that ain't good for Aston. They need points, especially since Reese is out of the race.
And looking at Adam as well, he's struggling with those inters. Jeremy is catching
Tim's
loads of time on him.
Tim is in.
Okay, Tim must have had damage then, actually.
Oh, has he got side pod damage? As you said, there's no front wing damage, but could there be any chance of rear wing or side pod damage? And he thinks it could get repaired in the pit lane.
I hope not, but there is a front wing ready for him, so must have been front wing damage that wasn't visible then.
It's a shame there. Another fresh set of mediums, and oh, it was a glitch there. I thought he was actually getting held up.
Oh, and his teammate Louis Quinlan has also gone around in Eau Rouge.
Jeez, what is happening with Eau Rouge? You know, there's been a lot of accidents in real life, and now here, surely there's something going on with the track. Louis then may need to make another pit stop.
Once again, I can't see any damage for Lewis. But
oh, hang on. Tim's round again! He is round again through Rouge. He's just got a fresh set of tyres, just repaired his front wing, and he is around. There's something wrong with the AlphaTauri.
Oh, well, in Tim's case, he could have just... I mean, he's on fresh tyres. Those could be a little slippery right after you get out of the pit, so... I'm gonna push too hard up there. But nonetheless, though, this is looking like it's falling into Jack and the two Ferraris' hands at the moment.
Oh yeah, Jack's doing a very good job. As we can still see, there's still a bit of drops on the camera. And Jessica Harrison and Matt still haven't made their pit stop. They need to make their, well, Matt's first stop and Jessica's second to go on those drives. Because those inters, if you're not careful, you overheat them way too much. You're going to lose grip, crash into the wall. You're going to get a puncture, and Jessica Harrison is finally in the pit lane. Oh no, that is a Haas. That is spice there, ball. He's... where has he lost that? Oh, he's crashed it where Jenson Button in Hamilton in 09 got collected. Oh, hopefully... Yeah, Lacombe. Hopefully he hasn't got some wing damage or anything, but, well, he carries on.
Battles at the moment. Obviously we had some drivers close to each other, but these pit stops and incidents have really spread the field out a bit right now.
And Louis keeps it safe this time through Rouge. But this could be the closest fight at the moment though. So Andres Shane and Louis Quinlan fighting for a possible 4th position.
Right indeed, Shane just 1.5 seconds behind Louis. He needs to get a little closer before we can talk about a fight, but this might be the one fight we have to watch soon. Although Louis does seem he might actually be a little quicker still than Shane.
Oh, Jeremy's gone off though. He's gone back on the track though. He went off. Same place where Tom Spencer went off, and oh yeah, I was getting sector 1. That is an Aston. Was that Matt Romano losing the rear end out of the pit lane? Took it very cautious there through a Rouge, so we have to watch out for Matt Romano. But as you said though, Bottle, no fights at the moment.
And at the moment the closest people we have is actually Enzo and Tim. Both two drivers who were on for podium positions, but then both making mistakes in Eau Rouge. And now Tim is in that 8th place. Enzo is in that 9th place, trying to catch back up to the rear of Tim.
Louis sets fast lap 45.8, but those laps obviously are going to be beating because track's improving a lot and it's going to get warmer, the track, and grip's going to improve and quicker times will be set.
Highly likely, at least. As Enzo almost sticking, keeping the same pace as Tim, but we can see, and he's actually keeping the same pace as Tim. But still 1.6 between these two, though.
It could be just the speed, and he's using a bit more ERS than Tim, 10% more. He has. Oh, Tim's gone round!
Oh, and Tim again around in Eau Rouge. And very surprising here, Jared. He seemed to struggle a lot in Eau Rouge right now, but he didn't in the rain.
Yeah, he didn't. But when he was practicing, when we were talking to him, obviously, he did say he was having issues through Rouge with the setup. But I don't know if it's either overheating his tyres, he's taking it wrong, hitting the curb, or he's doing something with the car, and he's just completely struggling. Maybe with the interconditions, it was slower, and he didn't really have to have that much throttle. But it isn't good for him. Possible win is now 10th place.
To be fair, in Inters he was leading. He wasn't pressured that much. However, now that he's trying to catch time, you push more. So he might just be in that place where you just push more than you really can.
Well, that is true. But at the moment, Jessica Harrison isn't pushing at the moment, as she's just crashed, and Tim's just passing her now. And hopefully, she can get this car rolling and don't get it stuck or get disqualified, and hopefully she ain't got any damage.
Louis with fastest lap again. Look at this, Jared. Louis, he is really on a charge at the moment, trying to catch the Ferrari of Ross Denholm. 1.4 seconds between these two right now. Louis is setting fastest lap after fastest lap. However, Louis does have a few penalties though, so he will have to pass Ross and also pull away from him.
Oh yeah, definitely, and Louis, but there's only one little problem with Louis. Oh, hang on a minute, cut that off. That is Hamrick. Enzo's now lost it through Rouge. Another Honda powered car has gone off through Rouge now, and Tim again. He's gone off. He's hit the wall. That has to be side pod damage. And this is going to help Matt Romano. He's gaining time, and
you know, I just came to realize something, Jared. After that first time Tim spun, he might have...
Hang on, sorry to cut you off. Jack, the leader. He's gone off. Ivan is now in the lead.
Ooh, no damage from that jacket, looks like, though.
Shane's binned it as well. What's going on? Why are the cars just sliding off the circuit? And as you were saying, Ball, sorry to cut you off, as it did happen, as now Ross Denholm's now making a move, and I think that's Jessica Harrison now out through Rouge as the Mercedes and the Ferrari are fighting. Oh, Ross in the pit lane. Safety car.
At Ross, very lucky, manages to jump right into the pit lane there. Last second, same with Louis, into the pit.
Now that saved him.
Everybody will go into pit now, except for the two leaders, though.
No, yeah, that is true. Ivan is risking it, and to be honest, it's safe.
Risking it, Jared. He just simply was past the pit lane by the time it said safety car.
Well, even with that though, it's still a good tire to be on. The mediums ain't not really that slow, to be honest. You with the DRS train, it's like France, to be honest. You can stay behind somebody.
But they're no soft tire at the same time.
Oh, whatever you do, Louis, do not hit the safety car. And well, everyone is in the pits.
What I was going to say, even though Tim might have been a little saved by this, as he's now at least with the field again. But after that first time when Tim spun, I didn't catch how he spun. But if he's hit the wall with his rear, he might have gotten rear wing damage, which could explain why he has struggled multiple times through Eau Rouge now.
It could be a possibility. When he lost early, he's got to replace his front wing again. But earlier on, last time he spun it, he hit the side of his car, the left side, so he could also have some side pod damage or the floor damage there as well. So hopefully there isn't any damage to the car. I wish we could know about it, of course, if it had like a little graphic telling where the damage is. But yeah, as a commentator, we can't find out. Only the driver will know, and hopefully he can get a good result out of this safety car. But Matt Romano, he's now in the pits. No penalties. I'm not saying he could, but there's a possibility he could get a podium.
Well, there is, but there is still quite a few laps to drive, as we see that Ivan dives into the pit. Same with Jack in second, also diving into the pit. These two were just unlucky and couldn't dive it into the pit when the safety car came out. And let's see then if that is going to cost them any positions. As we can see, Jack not Jack, Ross Denholm heading into the bus stop here. These two heading out of the pit lane now. Here comes Ross on the start-finish straight. Ivan is out in the lead still. Jack is still in second. And that is lucky that he did not lose anything there.
Yeah, I think the Delta actually helped them out, to be honest. I know, apparently, you were right, Ball. Red flag again in the actual race.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Of course it is.
What a waste of time for the... But it's great for us. You guys can join the amazing commentary of this race, which is now going to be very exciting, as Shane is coming out the pit lane.
Something I have just noticed, Jared, there is one other driver than Matt Romano who doesn't have a penalty, and that is last season's F3 title winner, Ivan Kingsley, who is currently leading.
Oh yeah, he's done a very good job, kept out of trouble. Didn't look that strong in the inters, obviously, and he's now got a very good chance of winning the race. But don't count out Jack, obviously. He can gain all that time away. And same with Louis. Louis has 9 seconds worth of penalties.
You gotta remember, this is Spa we're talking about. There is a long straight. There is a long, well, maybe not exactly a straight on the before bus stop there, but it is still kind of a straight. There's like a lot of slipstreaming on this track. So for Ivan, he just needs to stay within the slipstream of whoever is leading, and then he has a very good chance of taking the first win in F2 this season.
It's true, and speaking about drivers right now with the safety cars, I thought it would be benefit. Will the Haas of Spicer Matt Romano catch the safety car before it goes in? Because the safety car's going to do another lap, and they're only, I'd say, a quarter of the track away.
As long as the safety car stays out this next lap as well, then yes, they will catch. If it decides to go in this lap, then they won't. Especially Spicer being that far behind. However, the safety car will now continue this next lap as well. So I do then believe they should catch up, even though both Matt and Tom are quite far behind still.
That's true, but it also helps Matt Romano again. That's one less lap of pushing. We'll be on lap 18 then when we go green. So that should be 4 or 5 laps remaining of the race.
Just so I've said it, Jared, I told you so.
Oh, with the red flag. Yeah, you were right. I have to agree. The real life FIA are just idiots, as we've talked privately about it. They're just idiots. But we don't make mistakes like that. But no, as I was saying on Matt Romano, he's got 5 to 4 laps remaining when we go green. He ain't going to lose that much time. He's going to be in slipstream. Yes, it's a long track. The only way he's going to lose time is if there's a massive crash. And there's a couple of guys here who've got 9 seconds worth of penalties. So Matt Romano could get some solid points. Vassinon, speaking about a person who bottling, it is Adam. He just spun it on the safety car. He's dropped to 11th. Now, I believe that is a first in IRL.
Well, no. There has been multiple drivers doing things like this, and I believe one of the drivers who's been in our stream chat, Mr. Jamie Morris, I believe he has spun under the safety car in IRL before as well. So,
well, the first Irishman then. You've got to have that.
Kevin?
No, I don't think Kevin spun under the safety car, do you?
Maybe not. There is also the possibility that Adam's done it before.
Oh yeah, that is true. But it is the first this season. We didn't have it in the F1 tier. We had it in F2. So it is the first of this season, obviously.
That is true.
So Matt Romano has just made a position and he's now in 10th.
And I believe it is Reese March who's tuned into our stream saying, hey guys, enjoying the stream. Do you believe he's through the pit lane? Might be somebody else as well. However, Everybody is bunched up behind that safety car now, Jared, and I do believe the safety car should come in this lap, as we will then have 5 laps of racing to the end.
Yeah, definitely. I think 5 exciting laps will be said. But will Ivan do a Matthew Older? A stupid restart, in my opinion. You like it, of course, but I hate it, and it gives the students a headache.
I do it myself, so so I can't really say that I don't like it. But the safety car is in, and Ivan makes it a fairly normal restart. Just goes out of the last corner. However, a few people have been caught napping a little bit, as we can see that Ivan and Jack has pulled a little, but Ivan with a very good turn 1 there. As now Jack might be put a little bit under pressure from Ross. Oh, and correct me if I'm wrong, but look at Jack heading
this
down
could go 3 wide.
Straight, and look at Ross as well. Ivan might be passed by both of these two. Or Ivan has managed to stay ahead of his teammate, but Jack though seemed bad out of turn 1, but he came back.
Well, Adam's lost it again. Same corner where he lost it on the safety car, and Adam then it will be 12, and I think that's where he will finish, unless there is another spin. But yeah, I can't fault Jack. You know, shocking start, but then after that, through a Rouge, good run, and gets the position back, and he's now in the lead. Now he needs to increase the gap to at least 3 seconds. I'd try and increase to 6, but 3, you need to be safe to win this race, because Ivan hasn't got a penalty.
I'm not gonna lie here, Jared, it does seem like he's trying, he's really pushing, and you can see Ivan almost missing, slipping out of that DRS range, but Ivan also using some ERS to make sure that he sticks within it. Then you have Ross behind him, followed closely by hungry Louis Quinlan. He will go for any possibility there is of getting faster.
You're right.
A little into the back of him there, so...
He wants the car, he doesn't want the position, he wants the Ferrari. And he's already trying to hit him out of the way. But yeah, you're right, it's going to be very interesting. We've got 4 laps remaining, and it's very exciting already. I'm pumped to see who's going to win this race. But unfortunately, Jack isn't pulling away. 4 tenths now. Delta, Ivan, has caught back up.
Look at this though, up Eau Rouge. All of these drivers so closely together.
Oh, Luke's round.
Yellows again, and who is that?
It's Luke.
Is that Luke?
Same place where Tim binned it. I don't know if there's a bump or something, but drivers are really struggling.
As Ivan has been passed by his teammate,
Louis.
And Louis has a touch together, and Louis ends up spinning around, losing a lot of positions.
So he goes through the Haas. But Ross then in the 2nd place. I can't believe I'm saying this. He is in 2nd.
Well, don't say it too early. It is Ross after all.
It is Ross indeed. And Ivan still hasn't got a penalty yet.
Look at that though. Ivan's struggling to keep up with Ross right now. Does he have some damage?
Oh, there's contact. Jeremy's gone off through Pouon, it looks like. No damage. But another driver who just went off as well was Adam through Rouge.
And wait, whoa, what's happened behind Ivan there?
Oh, Shane's off! Shane is into the wall.
Oh.
I don't know if that was a deliberate crash, because he was on track fine, and then 2 seconds later he was into the wall, so I don't know what's happened, but he has retired on track, which isn't allowed obviously, but yeah, that's a shame for him. He was looking for a possible podium position.
Look at this though, Jared. Ross getting feisty here, really getting on to the back of Jack. Jack in his debut race. Can he take a win in his first ever IRL race? You also got to remember about Ivan in the background there. Doesn't have any penalties. He's still within that window. But look at this though. Ross, he's gonna go for this overtake down the Kemmel Straight. Jack goes defensive. Ross, he's gonna pull to the inside towards the end of this straight. Jack brakes late. Ross brakes later. There is a little contact. Ross getting pushed out wide, and Jack, my God, he's managing to stay ahead, Jared.
Yeah, it's a bit not the cleanest of racing between them two.
Both it looked.
Yeah, it was a bit, you know, 50-50. Both at fault there, and they need to be careful because one thing, you want to get the position, but you don't want to take somebody out, as people have done that before, and they've had penalties. And
Indeed.
Ross, though, is in second and helping his teammate now. Ivan's back in DRS range.
However, I was just going to mention it. The one driver who has benefited massively from this is Ivan, as he's in that DRS range. And unless they can drop him out of it, this is pretty much a sure win for him in the end.
Well, yeah, either drop him or he gets a penalty or he bins it through one of the curb corners or something like that, like I did yesterday. And just approaching that corner, I did bin it. Same way Kimi Räikkönen as well. But right now, though, Ivan is in the favourite position of winning this race, but Ross wants to win it on track, it looks like.
Could be. However, look at who's in fourth now, Jared. Tim Bruce-Daly's worked his way back up into fourth now. He is also quick. You can see him catching on these guys ahead. However, he does have a penalty though, so it's going to be difficult for him to win it.
Well, not just that, doing enough laps. There's only one lap 21 out of 22.
Indeed. But look at this though. Ross down on the back of Jack once again, pulls out of the slipstream early this time, and it looks like he will have the move done. But look at Jack, he's thinking about it. However, he sits back and takes that P2 for now.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting. I think Jack still got a podium the way this is playing out, so it's looking good for him, and especially on his debut race as well for IRL. Will be a podium for him, but hang on, someone who's not having a good day, and it's Louis Quinlan. Louis yet again losing it in the same corner, and now he's under pressure by Matt Romano. The legendary F3 admin, now the new F2 admin. Driver I fought for, who beat me in Italy, which is very hurtful to say. But he is looking for a 7th position
One
here.
One of my best ever IRL moments.
I see how it is. But he's really looking for some decent points. He's struggling there through Pouon, and now look at Luke Baker now, the two admins of this tier, going side by side, and Matt lets him go.
Fair enough. Our two front drivers though, Jared, they're still at it.
Yeah, Ivan's dropped off.
Barely anything separating these two, but Ross has clearly pushed up the pace though, as they've dropped Ivan. Ivan 1.5 seconds behind Jack. Currently 2 seconds behind Ross then. They might be able to pull far enough ahead of Ivan.
Oh, look at the tactic Ross has just pulled.
Oh no, wait. No, he's been pulled. Jack has pulled it back on him, I think.
That's a silly decision because that's...
Ended up with DRS then.
That's... Oh no. Oh no! Jack has just got a penalty. That could cost him the podium.
That is... And Jack actually did get DRS. However, that penalty will hurt him. Oh, as Ivan went very deep.
Oh, Tim's off! Tim's into the wall, and he's lost the position. He dropped a 5th under it.
And that is very unlucky for Tim.
Jack still might get 3rd. It is very questionable if he will get it, but it is really close of him getting 3rd right now. He just needs to keep this pace for half a lap, and he goes off the track again. That's definitely a warning. He's got hardly any ERS in Adams. That's fast lap, obviously, with a 44 flat.
Fresh soft tire, super
Super soft.
soft tires. It's not super soft. It's just soft tires, Jared.
I was going to say.
Still getting confused about the tires nowadays. Nonetheless, Adam on those fresh soft tires, showing that he does have some pace before he ends up bottling in Eau Rouge again.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially with those fresh soft tyres, he's not doing the Irish very good. It's meant to be good luck for the Irish, but it's bad luck for him today. But a man who's done it. It's Jack who's going to win on track, but unfortunately isn't going to win the race due to penalties. Ross then takes 1st, but then Ivan takes him off him by penalties. But Jack holds P3, so his first podium for the debut of IRL, and Tim takes 4th.
And look at that. The two title contenders in F3 last season takes 1st and 2nd in the season opener. And it is 1st for the guy who won and 2nd for the runner-up.
Oh, and I'm sorry, but Adam, this is F1. It's not Tokyo Drift. It's F1. He's drifted into the wall.
Adam doing what Adam does.
Yep, bottling. But a very surprise turn of events. The Aston Martin got some points. Matt Romano then does take 7th, and he will be happy with that.
Indeed, indeed. However, somebody who won't be happy gotta be Adam.
Oh, definitely.
11th, multiple spins.
Possible points.
Yeah, and especially with
okay,
showing
what?
that he...
Lou's been given a 20-second penalty. He's finished the race. He's finished the race and he's been given a 20-second penalty. Oh, this game.
Yeah, he's given that after the race.
Imagine if Ivan now gets disqualified.
Does it change anything?
I don't know. I don't think it did.
Because if it didn't change anything, then there is no issue. But if it did change anything, then we gotta...
Yeah, we've got to keep
back in it. As we see that Matt Romano is awarded with Driver of the Day from the game.
Well, it's either him or Ivan, but no.
I'm gonna have to go Ivan.
He's got the Devin Butler.
Sorry to Matt, but Ivan here, he's today he's shown why he won the title in F3. He was not the quickest today. He was actually far from the quickest today, I would say. But no penalties, consistent through the whole race, no incidents, and that's why he won the title in F3.
But Ivan's not Scottish, is he? I thought he was British. No, he's Scottish. Oh, I got confused there.
I think he is Scottish.
Yeah, he is.
Russian.
Ah, right. Well, congratulations.
I'm a little unsure, but
yeah,
he did put down Russian, so I think he's a little Scottish, he's a little Russian, but he lived
a little bit, yeah. Oh, then he takes the win then, and unfortunately doesn't take the fastest lap. Ross then takes 2nd, Jack takes 3rd, Tim in 4th, Enzo in 5th, Tom in 6th, Matt Romano in 7th, Luke Baker in 8th, Jeremy Pope in 9th, Luke Quinlan does get 10th then, and Adam, disappointing not to score points, but takes fast lap, so nobody else gets a fast lap point with 11th. Shane, unfortunately, DNF'd in 12th, same with Jessica Harrison, Billy Mossam, Reese March and Kieran. All DNF'd. But just an interesting, before we close off though, Paul, Reese did say, who is through the pit lane, did say the reason why a couple people lost it through a rouge, there is actually a little bump apparently which affected their cars, and with the setups they were running apparently caused them to spin around.
Well, I mean, that bump I did not experience yesterday, but maybe.
Well then, well, we'll get the top 3 in for an interview if the guys want it, of course. There's oh, that's a good message. When you try and invite friends, it says error occurred. Yeah, I'll get the 2 Ferraris in. It's Delta. Yeah, I think we'll let you, the expert, do the interviews today. It's LR Delta, innit? That's his tag, innit? I believe it is. Hang on. Yes, it is. It's LR Delta and then Tech. Okay, both Ferraris have been sent invites there, Sondre, and I'll allow you to interview the Ferrari drivers today, as you've been my special guest in the comms. I feel it's fair enough.
Let's see how it is.
You do see how it is. My throat's hurting, so. But hopefully they do join, as I'm just going to see if Jack will join. Don't know if he will, obviously. Let's have a look. Oh, Ross is here, Bolt.
1.
There's number 2.
That's 2. First place not joining for interviews, Jared? Or?
No, yes, Della is here. It's just Jack's not here yet.
Hello.
No, I mean, I'm in third place.
Oh, Jack. I don't know. I did send him one. I'll send him another. JP.
So, another season, a new tier, not the F3 anymore, in F2, but still seeing yourself getting beaten by your teammate, last season's F3 title winner. So, first of all, like, how does that feel? Fair enough, fair enough. Then we'll head back to Quali first then. But you taking P3 in Quali, but at the same time though, being a little bit off the two people ahead of you. So like, how was your Quali? I see. Well then, heading into the race, I can't remember exactly, I can't remember that much from the start of your race, but if you could take us through the opening laps from your point of view. Fair enough, fair enough. Then, when the dry started, we saw surprisingly many people struggling, in especially Eau Rouge. Was that corner ever an issue for you? Fair enough, fair enough. Then towards the end of the race, you had a fight with the Mercedes of Jack, and well, for a couple of laps you struggled a little to get past him, but then you got past him, and after you got past him, you pulled to the left in turn 1 to try and snake that DRS away from him, but that didn't exactly work. What was your thought around there?
Sorry to... Hang on a minute, Ross. Sorry to cut you guys off. The stream can't hear you, Ross. Tim just let me know. Sorry to cut you guys off.
Egg. My apologies, but...
Big egg there, Ross.
Yeah, big bottle, but I pulled to the left because I wanted DRS. But I didn't know he was going to get another pen, so that I'll pull to the left and let him by. But I think he knew I was going to do that, so he just slowed down. So we were both just going like, who wants it? So I just pulled off. I was like, you can have it. But then he got the 6. I was like, okay, I'll just let him by. And then yeah, and then I told Delta when he got the 6, it's your win, mate. Just hopefully you've got DRS so you can keep up with us. And he got it. And he was shouting in the party, I'm going to send it. So I kind of had a bit of a brown moment, thinking I'm going to get hit here. But luckily he missed me. And yeah, I still was able to stay on track. He was, and unlucky to Tim, and he had a bit of a spin.
Indeed, he did. Alright, so I'm guessing the stream didn't hear any of his answers then, Jared?
No, not from what Tim said, no.
Okay.
Well, I can barely remember my questions.
It was
God,
just
your
about my
memory's
quality.
getting worse.
We're just gonna move on, and hopefully next time, Ross, you
I'll
remember
keep it on
that
the loud this
instantly.
time, bottle.
But anyways, what about next race then? I believe that is
France.
Oh, that is actually
France is
France?
Paul Ricard.
Oh, it's
So-
France. Yes. I love that circuit. Last time,
Alright,
at least
well-
on there, I've had a win. So, not an IRL. But
Fair enough. What are you expecting next week in France then?
well, if Tim bottles again, and if I don't get a pen, maybe a win. But I'll probably get a pen to my bottle. I've got no line now.
I reckon you'll get multiple pens, to be honest.
Probably. I only
About
got
your
one this
track
time.
history.
I only got one pen this time.
But
What?
France is a little more difficult to avoid the pens, though.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we'll see next week, and congratulations on your podium today, and good luck for France.
You too, bottle.
I'm gonna need it. And we'll head to today's, what was it in the end then? Third place, Jack?
Yeah, Jack is here.
Yep.
Alright, so first of all, just making sure that your voice is on share.
Yeah, it's on chat.
Good. So, we'll start with quali. You looked good there. You lost a little time to the guy in first, but could you have challenged him anymore?
I think, well, in quali I'd tuned my setup a little bit to be towards like the rain in the race. So with a normal setup, I think I could have gone at least half a second quicker. But with the setup I had for the race now.
Fair enough, fair enough. Nonetheless, though, in the race, the opening laps, you were pretty much right at his back, but you were also under a lot of pressure. How was the opening laps for you?
So it was a struggle really. I forgot to change my tyre pressures for the wet weather going into it, so I was struggling for grip a lot, especially out of low speed corners. So even though I was gaining through like the middle part of the lap, I was losing it all again on the end of the chicane and through a lot of the low speed corners. But it was a struggle really to get to grips with it. Obviously, I also left a load of fuel in the car. I overfueled the car, forgot to change it. It's obviously first league race back in a few years, just forgetting all the basics and remembering to do stuff. So I overfueled the car. The car felt a bit heavy and understeery to begin with. Yeah, I think as it came down towards the latter parts of the intermediate stint, I got a bit quicker. I felt just because I think I was burning off of fuel, and then obviously the higher tyre pressures obviously came into their own as the track started to dry.
Indeed, they do. They should have felt a little better when they ended up being dry. And talking about crossover to when it became dry, then you pitted. You were still in second, I believe, but I believe Tim spun as soon as he went on to the dries, and you took the lead. So, like, how was that first laps on the dry tires?
Very tricky, obviously. I thought going up into Eau Rouge and Radion, I thought this is going to be wet up here, it's going to be slippery. I actually almost spun myself, ended up on the grass on the outside of, on the inside of Radion. But managed to keep it together, obviously. I took a little bit less pace through, I think, than maybe Leader did. I felt maybe if he hadn't spun it, it'd have been pretty straightforward to the end 1-2. Obviously, I span a few laps later, but he had the pace on me, especially in the dry before he spun. My wings were too high, especially for the race pace. I was losing so much time down the straights and really gaining not that much through the corners.
Fair enough, fair enough. Then, obviously you were involved in that battle for the lead at the end, together with Ross, and you managed to defend for a while there, but he got past, and when he got past, he pulled a bit of a maneuver on you in turn 1, but you outsmarted him though and kept that DRS. However, luckily enough, you got a penalty, but like in that situation going on, I believe that was going on to the last lap. Like, how was that for you?
So initially I thought he'd locked up into turn one and made a mistake, and I quickly realised he's playing for the DRS. Obviously, I know it was a lot further down, so I took my corner slower than I had to, than I would have normally. But obviously, I knew Delta behind was. It was also trying to balance that because I knew he didn't have any penalties and he was probably gonna, end up taking me anyway. Obviously, it didn't matter in the end. I got a bit of understeer going up through Eau Rouge and Radion, and ended up that little bump took me over, I think, slightly over, slightly exceeded track limit, so it didn't really matter in the end. But yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. I could have caught me out on a different day, but kind of just wised up to it as soon as I realised what he was doing.
Well, he's. I have seen that maneuver before, and I would say that I've seen it more times than you would actually expect. But so it isn't that strange for people to do it. Nonetheless, though, it did end up in P3 in the end, and taking a debut podium as well. Heading into next week in France, how is that track for you, and what are you hoping to achieve there?
France is not a track that I've ever done league racing on before. It's been a while since I've done league racing, so I think it was like F1 2016 was the last time I did any. My pace in generals, it's okay around there. Maybe not as good as Spa. Spa's not a strong track of mine, but it's a track I've played quite a bit of on this game, just through hoppers and stuff. So possibly one of my better tracks at the minute, Spa. But going to France, it's a lot of winding corners, a lot of curbs that you can you dip a curb on, you dip a front wheel on one of the curbs, you get on the accelerator a bit too quickly, you can send yourself around. So it's one to be wary of, but I expect myself to be, if I do race again, obviously as a reserve, I expect to be fighting for a podium again though.
Well, in that case, then we will see you hopefully for your sake next week. Probably as well. Nonetheless, then congratulations on your debut podium, and good luck if you race next week.
Thanks.
And then we'll head to the last driver here, Ivan.
Hello.
And there is, last season you went on to a F3 title, and now you're in F2 and you start off the season not like last season. You weren't the quickest today, but you stayed away from the pens, and you were consistent, and you ended up with the win. So first of all, how does that feel?
Yes, it feels pretty good. Obviously, I did a lot of practice. Well, I didn't actually do that much practice. The win felt very good at the time, but I've obviously calmed down now. But yeah, it was a very fun race. The tensions were very high for that race because, well, mixed conditions and like all the crossover points, so it was pretty. Tensions were high off that.
First of all, actually, before we continue, you have your voice on share, right?
I'll look now.
See what you've done, Ross. Now I gotta ask everyone to make sure.
I think mine is always done allowed because then.
Hey, that's not nice.
Yeah, they're all tipped.
Alright, great. So, then going on to quali, then looks like you struggled a little bit there, a little off pace from the front row and down in ninth. Did quali go after plan, or?
Well, with the qualifying, it was a bit difficult to kind of concentrate because, well, there was someone else in the party. It wasn't just me and Ross just blasting music, so I had to mute him halfway through my lap. So then obviously I lost a lot of time, but I kept going on. But for my last one, another person talks. It wasn't Ross. Another person talks, and then I just got invalid. But I was 17 stop. But the qualifying, I was pretty annoyed at the time. Same with Ross. Obviously, he could have potentially taken pole, but with qualifying for me, I just felt as if I could have went much quicker, but just obviously distractions. So for the next week, we'll probably just make it me and Tech.
Fair enough, fair enough. Then in the race, I'm not gonna lie, I did not catch at all how, but you had an amazing first lap though. I seem to remember you got up to around fifth.
I went up to P5 or something. Yeah, it was the first lap. I was genuinely like, I can't find a way without saying this without swearing. I was absolutely bricking it, just because I heard, because there was so many people, just like, because I couldn't see a thing, but just straight away as I heard like, because it looked like someone touched that inside curb at turn 1, and I just knew, okay, this crash gonna happen, and then, yeah, it was just a big train, so I just kept with the tight line, so I just went down to second and just went full on, like obviously tried to go up the gears as quickly as I can without spinning, and yeah, it was scary for the first lap, and then a rouge for the first time in the rain was pretty scary as well, because I spun almost so many times during the first lap.
You were probably not alone about that. Nonetheless,
Yeah,
though,
I get under pressure. Wait, sorry, what?
During the rest of the first stint when it was raining, I feel like I don't remember much action from you. Did a lot of stuff happen for you, or was it pretty quiet?
At the moment in time, the plan was I just sit behind Tech and follow whatever Tech's strategy was, because Tech obviously he's very good at Belgium, you could say, and we were just waiting, but then Ross was knowing that it was going to dry in like 5 minutes, so we set our stints in mediums and turned the downforce down a little bit, and yeah, I think with how the first stint went, I think it was just, I was just happy with points. I was not thinking about like the podium or the win. I was like, right, okay, I've turned off the TC. I can't be making any stupid mistakes with anything. So yeah, originally it was just me follow Tech, be a shadow throughout the first stint, and just see what happens. And yeah, that's basically what happened first stint.
Fair enough, fair enough. Then going into the second stint, a lot of stuff started to happen pretty quickly. You had Tim in the lead spinning, you had Jack a little later doing a mistake, you had Shane doing some mistakes.
Yeah, Shane was very
Louis. So a lot of mistakes happening, and
yeah,
well, you were still in a solid position, and then you just ended higher and higher, and then
yeah, in the end
we got a safety car.
That really annoyed me at the time, because I generally thought, well, just before the safety car, I was like, right, Ross, this could potentially be a 1-2 for us, but then I can't remember the name. It's JP or something like that. J Poden. He was very close. He was beaming off, and after, like, genuinely he was beaming off, and I was like, right, okay, Ross, I'm just gonna keep it slow because I don't think I'm gonna catch up to the guy. He's way too quick in this track, so he's just gonna beam off, because he was gaining like a second just almost every single sector, to the point it went up to like 4 seconds. When I saw the yellow flag and I saw his blip like just stop, I was genuinely just shouting, right, Ross, he spun. But everyone was breathing down my neck. Like Tim, he was catching up a lot, and then I think he made like one mistake, and then I think he just, I don't think he was just, I think he just gave up near the end, because he was just spinning after spinning. And then Shane was very quick. He was very quick for this.
Yeah, he found his pace in the middle of the race there. But then, nonetheless, though, towards the end of the race, on the last few laps, you were the only one, together with Matt Romano, who didn't have any pens. Was there any point where you was sure that the win was yours, or?
I genuinely was not focusing about the win, because like I've moved like everything on the on-screen all the way to just the corners, like the very top corners, just so I don't see it, because all that'll do is just pressure me. So when Tech was saying, right, it's your win, I'm like, I'm not gonna. I was getting like more under pressure, because I was already getting a congratulations by Ross like 2 laps before the race even ended, and I was like getting so scared. And the safety car was also one scary thing as well, because I was too busy just focusing on not spinning on the safety car and doing a Grosjean, like just spinning under the safety car. So I was just focusing, and then when I looked at my tire temps, I was like, no, because I almost spun in a Rouge to the point I genuinely put all 3 of them tires on that inside curb, and I just slammed on the anchors. But yeah, last laps I was genuinely so scared.
Fair enough.
I wasn't. It's because I got 2 really weird warnings. I got obviously one for it was a Rouge. Yeah, it was a Rouge. I got a little bit too wide. I was near the first. That was just before we were about to pit. And then the other one was when me and Jay Bowden were having a battle, and I took a little bit too much curb and bounced, and it gave me a penalty. Not a penalty, a warning. So straight after that, I just kept staying on the track because I genuinely wasn't looking for any battles with him. I was just trying to stay consistent and just finish the race.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, you looked a lot like last season's, steady and consistent.
Yeah. The only difference is that me and Tech aren't fighting each other; we're teaming up together. So I guess it's
exactly. And I was gonna ask that, like, how is that going from, well, rivals last season to now being teammates and having to work with?
It's much better. Obviously, me and Ross have always been, well, since 2019, we've always been very competitive with each other. We've always wanted to beat each other. Like, one race he's beaten me, then the other one I beat him. It was always just like, it was always every race to beat each other. So we thought that when we were going to team up, people were just, like, a few people in IRL apparently were saying, oh, this isn't going to work and all that stuff. And a few of my mates were like, you guys just aren't going to do well, because you guys never non-stop argue or crash each other out. But yeah, throughout this season, I feel like me and Tech have matured up a little bit. We're not trying to kill each other, we're just trying to get to the finish line. But yeah, there was a lot. I wouldn't say there was a team strategy, but it was just obviously thanks to Ross for obviously holding the Jake holding up, because there was a time when my tires started to die a little bit. But yeah, I'm just gonna focus on each race the same. I'm not gonna just look into the distance and look for a win. Yeah, just see how my race ends up, and yeah. But overall, though, we seem like a very strong team.
Well, that was a winning strategy last season, so you never know. Then next weekend, heading to France. What are your goals in that race then?
Well, number one, it doesn't become wet, because I'm not as good as I am in the wet as I used to be. Shocking the wet. I lose like a second to everyone in this race with rain. So I'd say if it's rain, then I'm dead. If it's dry, then I'm fine. But penalties could be a thing that could impact a lot of people for that race. So should I just focus on that? I'm just gonna focus on surviving, to be honest. And yeah, just have a fun race. That's all I want. I'm not looking for any titles, but if it does come if it just comes up, the title fight or something, then obviously I'll look into that. But right now it's round one, and if it can change. So just enjoying the season as it's going right now.
Fair enough. Nonetheless, congratulations on your first win in F2 this season, and good luck for France.
Thank you, man.
And Jared, if you haven't fallen asleep, I know how tired you usually are.
Yeah, well, I hadn't heard him since he said.
I only usually fall asleep when you start talking and rambling on, so it's, you know, it is what it is.
I'm the one who usually talks too much.
Yeah, that's true.
Not usually, always, Ross.
Yeah.
I just realised what he said. I just realised what you meant there.
But yeah, Jared, over to you if you want to end off then.
Okay then, well, congratulations obviously for the top 3, well deserved, and there is a possible Tim trying to get his penalty removed, so we'll keep you guys informed if any positions do change. But if you've enjoyed today's stream and the commentary obviously by the old man Bottler over there and the goated IRL Neil, and then join in next week Sunday. It might be just me, Sandra might join me again, but yeah, it's been a very good race, and hopefully hit that like button and subscribe, and hopefully sign up if you guys want a seat. There's seats available. And Sandra, have you got what else to say before I finish off?
Nope.
Okay then. Well then, see you guys next time, and get ready for IRLFP, which starts Wednesday. Goodbye for now.